In mid-stage Parkinson's, your balance and how you stand begin to change. Unfortunately, medicines don't usually help with these changes. You may start to stoop over, hunch your shoulders forward, and swing your arms less. This all affects your center of gravity.
As your body gets stiffer, you may start to shuffle when you walk. Your walking may sound and look different. This is partly because your feet land flat on the floor instead of going from heel to toe.
These things added to the changes in your brain and your brain's power to sense and fix your body's position lead to more risk of falls.
Smaller objects may be harder to move around. A small change in the space around you can be enough to cause a fall.
Not only the movement part of the brain changes, Parkinson's also changes the thinking part of the brain. This is the part that makes plans, finishes tasks, decides, focuses, and lets you do more than one thing at the same time, like walking and talking.
With these brain changes, it's harder to carry out two tasks at the same time. You may speak and do things without thinking it through. You may have to pay attention to one thing at a time, like walking, to do it safely.
Distractions or doing two things at the same time can affect your balance and how you walk. An example is walking and carrying things in both hands at the same time. This puts you at risk of falling.
Think attention to action. If you're walking, focus only on that.
Don't try to do too many things at one time. If you notice some of these brain changes, talk to your doctor. Medicine changes may help prevent falls. Seeing an occupational and physical therapist may also help.
You can also fall for no clear reason. You may say, "I just lost my balance." You should talk with your doctor to try to find the cause of the fall or near fall. There are treatments that can help you keep living how you want and prevent future falls.
At times, fear of falling can also lead to falls. If someone is afraid of falling, they may not move as much.
Being less active makes you lose strength and ability, which can lead to falling. Keep moving. It can help prevent further Parkinson's problems.
Freezing is a common cause of falls in Parkinson's disease. Freezing is not being able to start or continue moving for a short time. It can feel like your feet are glued to the floor. Freezing makes it very hard to move around safely. It can feel frustrating.
It's important to know if the freezing happens when drugs have worn off or when they are working. It's also important to know if freezing happens in a certain place. We don't know exactly why freezing happens, but we see it more often during certain actions. These actions include taking the first step when walking, turning, passing through narrow passages, and coming to a stopping point.
It can also happen when you have a lot on your mind, in a crowded place, when you're in a hurry, or you're doing more than one thing at a time.
The harder you try to move forward during a freeze, the worse it gets. There are tricks that may help with freezing. These tricks are a way to reset your brain. It's like lifting the needle from a skipping record. A physical therapist can work with you on this.
If freezing happens when you're walking, first stop walking and then try marching in place.
Make wider turns. Think stop, stand up straight, shift your weight side to side, and take a big step.
Walk to the beat of a metronome or music. Take bigger steps. Have a companion lightly touch your arm and say, "March." Walk and lift your leg. Look through, not directly at doorways. Place colored tape on the floor in an area where freezing takes place, such as the kitchen or from the bedroom to the bathroom. Then step over that line.
Use a tool that is made for freezing, like a cane with a built-in part to step over, or a laser cane or walker that sends out a laser beam to step over.
Sometimes counting aloud or singing a song helps. Walk in a circle instead of pivoting. Festination is another type of walking that can cause falls. It looks like small, shuffling steps that are slow at first, but get faster and faster until the person may be running.
The person's body is bent forward. It can look like a runaway train. Mild to bad dyskinesias can also cause falls. Stress, embarrassment, and worry from having these movements can actually make you have more of them.
On the other hand, these wiggly movements may not bother the person with Parkinson's at all, since they may be during the on time. It is important to know that the difference between dyskinesias and tremors. They're treated very differently.
Dyskinesias may need less Parkinson's medicine, and tremors may need more. It's also possible to have both at the same time. If you're not sure which you're having, take a video of yourself and share it with your care team. Remember, dyskinesias are those writhing, wiggly, bobbing, or swaying movements.
They often start in the legs and are caused by levodopa therapy. They are more likely to appear when your other Parkinson's signs improve.
They get worse when you're under stress or excited. Parkinson's disease tremor is a shaking, rhythmic movement. It also happens when your body part is relaxed and at rest and stops when you move it. It appears in the hands, feet, jaw, and sometimes the legs.
The tremor could be on one side of your body or both. It gets worse when you're under stress or having big feelings.
If your dyskinesias are bad, your doctor may suggest DBS surgery to both sides of the brain. This will lessen those movements because you may not need as much medicine.
Dystonia can cause falls. It affects your foot. For example, your foot may be turned in or your toes curled down. This cramping usually happens during off time when dopamine levels are low. Changing your medicine or DBS surgery can help.
Retropulsion is when you shift your feet backwards because you're having trouble with balance. It often means you're at a higher risk of falls. To prevent falling, shift your weight slightly forward, or stagger your feet with one foot in front and the other behind.
Walk in the direction you're facing. Try not to step backwards. Don't carry things in both hands.
Don't pull things backwards or reach up high. Instead, carry things in a bag with handles on your sides. Sit when dressing and march when turning.